Welcome to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, your guide to future tech trends and innovation in a language you understand. Now, over to your host, Neil Hughes.
Welcome back to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. How are you all today, gang? Holidays are coming. Holidays are coming. We and our inboxes have survived Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and maybe you've opened your first doors on your Advent calendar too. Which got me thinking, do you have or have you seen a tech Advent calendar out there? Do they even exist? Because I've seen calendars at over £50 here in the UK, containing everything from gin, Jack Daniels, Prosecco, craft beers, makeup, nail varnish, candles, and even a 50 Shades of Grey Advent calendar. And believe me, you really don't want to know what was inside that one. But nothing tech related. Maybe we should create one next year. But what would we put in it? As always, I'd love to hear. Email me, techblogwriter@outlook.com, or tweet me at Neil C. Hughes. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that particular subject. But I always say it's not Christmas until I've watched Hans Gruber fall from the Nakatomi Plaza, and we've got a tech show to do today. So I invited Connected2Fiber founder and CEO Ben Edmond onto the show to discuss the trends that could be impacting the future of the entire telecommunications industry from not only a technological standpoint, but also from a go-to-market perspective. And as a leader of one of the industry's major go-to-market platforms for connectivity professionals, he has deep domain expertise and going to discuss today a variety of topics of how certain trends will specifically impact connectivity-dependent organisations, which I suspect is every organisation everywhere in the world. So I invite you to let me beam your ears all the way to Massachusetts so we can speak with Ben Edmond from Connected2Fiber and discuss some of the megatrends that are going to be emerging in the next few years that will impact the future of telecommunications, not only from a technological standpoint, but like I said, also from a go-to-market perspective. So a massive warm welcome to the show, Ben. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me, Neil. My name is Ben Edmond. I'm the CEO and founder of Connected2Fiber. Connected2Fiber is an industry platform built for the connectivity market. Specifically, we focus on building software and data that helps companies drive growth within the telecom sector.
Fantastic. Now, one of the big reasons I invited you on the show today was to discuss the trends that are impacting the future of the telecommunications industry from not only a technological standpoint, but also from a go-to-market perspective. So, as the leader of one of the industry's major go-to-market platforms for connectivity professionals, can I begin by asking, why do you think that location intelligence for network providers is so important, and also how it impacts the digital transformation efforts that they're going through?
Well, it's absolutely critical. If you think about our industry, it's the ultimate attribute that matters for connectivity. Location intelligence just provides such perspective around how and who and what you can serve as a supplier of connectivity. And really, irregardless of the type of connectivity, whether it's wireless or fiber-based, it really matters tremendously about that perspective of location. And it's changing how we think about our planning efforts, our attack strategies, the segments that we want to go. Fiber in particular, such a capital intensive business that understanding, the specific aspects around location intelligence, around where you can serve, what are the obstacles or barriers in your serving strategy? What's the competitive dynamics? How does that play a role into your success? And what's the demand look like, both at an individual location level and just as importantly, across an area that, shows the long-term viability of a particular project or market.
Absolutely. And over here in the UK, I'm particularly excited about 5G arriving next year, which could potentially be a huge game changer. But I mean, how do you think megatrends such as 5G, the cloud, software-defined networks, and a push-to-edge approach will actually affect network providers and their go-to-market strategy over the next few years?
I think it's going to impact them, fairly dramatically and really be the leading part of their execution strategy. So you look at these mega trends and connectivity in general, like the 5G trend. They're being driven in the marketplace because of a specific reason. Connectivity is not driving the bus; it's the enabler of the bus. And so the connectivity providers that are supporting trends like 5G or fiber densification, really need to think about the architecture to support the underlying need of more bandwidth, more content, more things in real time that the Amazon effect of consumerization and products, that I want everything right now and I get everything right now enables. And so when you look at the push to the edge as a good example, you need to support that architecture to enable the customer experience that ultimately sets your platform apart from others. That push to the edge with content and services and security and intelligence, is critical to making 5G a success.
Now, after researching you guys and also reading a lot about your opinions on certain subjects, one of the questions I've got to ask you is, why do you think the emergence of these trends requires a trusted ecosystem approach? And also how not adopting to that kind of approach could actually end up with companies getting left behind?
Absolutely. I mean, we've built a business around this concept of a trusted ecosystem, for a number of reasons. One, we believe the go-to-market strategy that best impacts connectivity industry is one that understands participation fully, meaning that it may not be your own direct sales efforts that provide the revenue stream that goes onto your network. It might be through a partner. It might be through a master agent of the partner, a carrier that you compete with and both support. And that ecosystem to enable fully requires a level of automation, a level of location intelligence, and a level of trust to make it work. And we put that trust embedded into our thought process in the ecosystem so our customers can pick and choose what they receive and what they distribute, and vice versa. The market can pick and choose what they want to see and know with authority that location intelligence they're making decisions on an automated basis is true and accurate. And without the trusted ecosystem, without that element of trust and validation, if you would, it's hard to make, multi-million dollars or multiple tens of thousands of dollars decisions in real time. And when we step back and look at it, it's really about, removing the friction so we can allow the market to operate at the speed it wants to.
I'm so glad you brought that subject up there. So, I mean, why do you think that location-based intelligence will actually be the focal point of insight in the future? And what is it that excites you about that?
It excites me in a number of ways. I mean, one, when you think about demand and the ability to be in business and generate a return, whether you're in the connectivity space or somewhere else, understanding the movement of people and businesses and goods, where they're purchasing, why they're purchasing, where they're located, and how to serve them, it matters. There's a cost element, there's a competitive element, and there's a demand element. And when you intersect them all with a location-based tie that allows you to get real context, and it allows you to do things with a lot more purpose. And when we step back and look, just like trends around account-based marketing and account-based sales, over the last 5 to 10 years really have taken hold for a lot of good reasons. We think the next evolution of go-to-market really centers around this location-based intelligence thought process, coupled in with the existing go-to-market efforts.
So, in your opinion then, what must a go-to-market strategy and technology stack actually include for network providers and equally resellers too?
Well, first and foremost, the tech stack has to include a total addressable market system of record. You need to understand with authority where and how you can serve. And that system of record becomes the foundation of everything in your go-to-market strategy, from how you execute campaigns to how you look at your resource allocation, the competitive intensity of different areas. But it all starts with that foundation. And the foundation that we think is best positioned is not an account-based view at first, it's a location-based view. And building from there, that tech stack really is, attributing the demand side, what accounts are appended back into those locations. The competitive intensity, I can't stress this enough, but, businesses in our space, whether they're providers or resellers, really need to understand the dynamics at account level and a location level of what the competition is doing. It impacts price, it impacts relevancy, it impacts fit, and that matters in the reality if you're going to win or not. And then last but not least, I think a modern go-to-market strategy has to include APIs. You have to extend your inventory and capabilities to where the purchase is happening. And the only way to do that in an automated world, centered around digital transformation, is to extend an API to your clients and control what you choose to send across that API.
Now, just to put everything that we've talked about into perspective, I recently read that one of the top 10 cable companies in the US was able to increase their addressable market by roughly 50%, all by using Connected2Fiber's platform to understand their true reach. And the organisation then achieved more than a 10 times return on their investment within a 6-month period through more effective market participation. So can you tell me a bit more about that story, just to help listeners visualise the kind of work that you're doing there and also the difference that you're making?
Yeah, it's really exciting. When you step back and think about, what we're doing for our clients, we're helping them grow. And we really use 3 different growth levers to start any relationship. One is around market participation. How do you fully participate in the market that you can serve? Well, to start with, you need to understand that market with authority. You need to know every commercial property that passes your network or connects to your network within a reasonableness. And if you don't know that, if you don't have that embedded in your system of intelligence, you don't communicate that to the market, you're not going to win those opportunities. And we have created a science around this. We've built our platform from the ground up to really understand proximity to all the fiber assets and are able to allow our customers to build that system of record. And in some cases, even greater than the 47% example that you articulated, to help really drive the success of our customers. And what we see time in and time again, whether they're a cable operator, whether they're an ILEC, whether they're a competitive fiber provider, a broadband provider, that when they fully participate, when they build that inventory of locations and then they communicate that to the market with an authority and a structure, they get an almost immediate return on their investment and really have the opportunity to drive greater than 10x returns really in a short period of time, which is exciting.
It really is a fantastic story too. But I suppose I've got to ask as well, where do you take it from here? What's next for Connected2Fiber? And is there anything else you can share with us about your plans for both 2019 and equally beyond?
Yeah, we have an exciting growth strategy ahead of us, really focused on the go-to-market processes for our industry cloud, centered on connectivity. The focus in 2019 is to be prescriptive, predictive, and automated. When you think about the growth levers, we spent a lot of time on participation and solving that for clients in our early days. We added in targeting to help be more effective in how you pick and choose where to spend your time, because you can never get time back. And we recently launched pricing, a key lever in the growth strategy to make our customers more effective in getting sales velocity and effectiveness with price. We're going to layer in, things around demand generation from a predictive nature and help people be prescriptive on their activity through participation, targeting, pricing.
Well, a huge thank you for spending a bit of time with me today. But before I do let you go, could I just ask that you remind the listeners of where they can find you guys online, and also maybe just contact a member of your team if they have any questions after our conversation today?
Absolutely, Neil. I appreciate the chance to tell our story. People can find more information about Connected2Fiber on our website at https://www.connected2fiber.com. If they have any questions, would like to see a demo, or engage our team directly, please contact at sales@connected2fiber.com. That's the email address, sales@connected2fiber.com.
Well, it's been great having you on the show today and hearing about what you're doing with Connected to Fiber. But equally, I'd love to stay in touch and maybe get you on the show again next year, especially with 5G arriving on the scene, which could be a big game changer. And it'd be interesting how the telecommunications industry begins to evolve and take a different form too. So I'd love to have you back on next year. But more than anything, just a big thank you for sharing your story with me today.
My pleasure, Neil. Thanks for having us.
The introduction of 5G, the clouds, and software-defined networks, coupled with a push to edge, is going to require a mindset shift in how entities such as network operators and service providers effectively participate in deals, and most importantly, work collaboratively to win them. There were so many value bombs dropped in today's episode from Ben, who offered invaluable insights around the importance of location intelligence for network providers, location intelligence and its impact on digital transformation, and how these megatrends that we've discussed will affect network providers and their go-to-market strategy. But I also learned why the emergence of these trends requires a trusted ecosystem approach, and how companies that don't adopt this could end up getting left behind. So many big talking points around why location-based intelligence will be the focal point of insight for the future. But what did you walk away with? Or in the case of our friend Barry Matthews, run away with? As always, email me, techblogwriter@outlook.com, tweet me @NeilC.Hughes, and reveal your insights, your feedback, or even tech advent calendar ideas for next year. So, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. It's time for me to start my Christmas movie marathon with Die Hard. So, thanks for listening, and until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Until next time, remember, technology is best when it brings people together.